Hi everybody, I'm Chad Koel for Northland Outdoors. Yes, spring is just around the corner, but there's always time for one more late ice adventure before we say goodbye to another long Northland winter. Late ice opportunities for fishing abound, but recently, one group of avid ice anglers from the Fargo-Moorhead area took a trek west to beautiful Fort Peck Reservoir in search of giant lake trout, and it was quite an adventure.
Let's see. Just arrived at the Fort Peck Marina, so we're gonna pick up some supplies and some jigs and some other things that we may need out on the water that we heard works pretty good. And it seems like we gotta check things out here.
Currently, right now, our fish this time of year, they are starting to slide up a little bit shallower. Typically throughout the winter, those fish are running a little bit deeper, say like 55 to 85 feet. Right now, the Cisco are starting to come in, and the fish are coming with them, so don't be scared to fish that 30 foot of water, 30 to like 50. Look for those real steep breaks. Those lake trout in this lake really like to push those Cisco up against them steep breaks and just feed on them and gorge on them. And then also, if you get a nice tabletop that comes up, flattens out in that 30 foot of water and it drops real steep, those fish will lay right on top of that. It's a great ambush spot for them. My biggest thing when it comes to lake trout fishing is don't sit in one spot too long. If you're not marking fish, move. 15 minutes. The key to being successful at lake trout on Fort Peck is movement.
Okay.
Drill as many holes as you can a day until you find that active school of fish, and then just camp on them and just rip them.
Fort Peck Reservoir is massive, over 134 miles long, covering more than 245,000 acres. Finding a fish and all that can seem like a daunting task, but with the right transportation, like a track side-by-side, and more importantly, the latest in mapping technology to pinpoint the best trout holding locations.
What we're looking for are points that come out to deep water with a fast break line. Here we got tops out at 79 feet, drops all the way down to 160, 175. So we're going to go set up on top of that hump there and try and catch some lake trout.
But anytime you travel ice this size, especially this late in the season, safety has to be your top concern. And the biggest threat on big water is constantly shifting ice, which creates unsafe ice heaves and cracks.
Yeah. Well, this was our spot that we crossed this morning, and the ice moved quite a bit. There's no way we can get through here. I think we'll have to go on land, like the other guys have been doing, get around this pressure ridge. Just goes to show that no ice is ever 100% safe, and it's moving every day.
Which way? Left.
Okay, you're right here, right here. We're good.
Once the target area is located, it's time to fire up the auger and drill. Lots and lots of holes. Lake trout are almost constantly on the move, chasing prey. And to be successful, an angler needs to be on the move as well. And your underwater eyes, like the Lowrance active target sonar, helps locate fish quickly.
Yeah, so we were marking fish out deep, out shallow, so we decided to drill a grid pattern going shallow to deep. I was out drilling. Alec was behind me with the Lowrance active target.
Right there, 40 feet.
And he was dropping that to find the fish, and then I'd just move around and drill a hole on top of where we were marking the fish. He'd come back behind me with the hair jig and his rod.
By far the most aggressive fish we've seen today are right here where we're at. Just it's hard not to get a bite when they're just chasing up, and I actually missed a couple, but they're just coming in so fast, you have to reel up to catch up to the slack they're putting in the rods.
Nice work, Alec. First one on the trip. Bingo, bingo.
There are a variety of presentations that can be effective, including large bucktail jigs, glide-style jigs like the Northland airplane jig, or underspin jigs paired with plastics like a paddle tail or tube bait. All of them worked very aggressively throughout the entire water column from bottom to top.
I'm in 71 feet of water right now, and that one's about a little over halfway down. It's about 40 feet of water. Oh, there's another mark. And their eyes are kind of on the top of their head, so they should be able to see you, you know. If you're fishing above it, they should come up. And
with so much water to cover, no one spot gets much time, especially if the fish don't cooperate. It's move, drill, look, and move again. Sooner or later, that routine gets interrupted by what could be a legitimate trophy fish.
Streamed it from 40 feet out. Absolutely smoked it. Missed it on the first. Big hit. Smoked it. I don't know, came up 40 to 50 feet of water. Screamed all the way up about 30, 35 feet. Keeps running on me. We just started moving out a little bit deeper. We were up on a little rock bar. Found some bait and fish schooling up. Here's where we got a couple earlier. Right here below the end.
it's a giant.
Giant. Yeah! Absolutely inhaled the hair jig.
In most of the Northland, the majority of late ice options are limited to panfish. But a trip to Big Sky Country in late winter can also be a trip to big fish country on beautiful Fort Peck Reservoir.